today we're going over our starting five. I think my starting five will kill your starting five.
Okay.
And I'm going to start off with my point guard, who is going to be Magic Johnson, mainly because, for one, he's a 6'9" point guard. He's a pass-first point guard. And, you know, his accolades already kind of show for itself that he's one of the greatest players to ever play the game. Number two.
Let's go one at a time. So,
one at a time?
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe we'll see some of the same. I got Steph at my point guard.
Okay.
Because I think greatest shooter of all time. I think he's the engine for the greatest offense of all time. And so I think just the fact that he can move without the ball, the fact that he can shoot off the dribble, the fact that he can finish around the rim, I think is an underrated skill that Steph has. He's one of the best guard finishers around the basket in NBA history. Obviously, he's gotten championships. He's a culture builder. So I think in the modern era, if we're competing today, I'm picking Steph over Magic because of his shooting ability and how much he disrupts the floor by how he spaces the game for everybody involved.
Understandable. But at the end of the day, I believe the point guard should be a pass-first type of guy. I don't think Steph is a pass-first point guard. So that's why I'm going to my number two guard, which is a killer. And it might be a little bit of biased pick, but I'm going with Allen Iverson.
Interesting. Okay.
Allen Iverson. Mainly because he was very unguardable in his prime one-on-one. Michael Jordan couldn't guard him one-on-one. He's a great on-ball defender. Kobe Bryant couldn't guard him one-on-one. He's a great on-ball defender. So, number two, Allen Iverson.
I might go a little controversial with number two that I think is probably too early to say this, but Donovan Mitchell is going to be my second. And the reason I'm picking Donovan Mitchell is because of, again, if this is in today's era, his shooting ability. He just has 71 points. There's only 4 players that have done that since we've been alive. So he's in a different category of scorer. And I think he's an athlete. I think he's a next level up of what Dwayne Wade could be if Dwayne Wade had a shot like Donovan Mitchell has. So I think a pairing of Steph and Donovan Mitchell. And to your point about the pass first point guard, I don't know how needed that is in today's game. Because look at the last few championships, how they had pass first point guards. Drew Holiday's a defensive point guard, not really a pass first point guard. Steph's not really a pass first point guard. You could make the argument that Kyle Lowry is, but he's still more of a I think an aggressor on the floor, not necessarily a playmaker. He plays both ends. So I don't know if a pass-first point guard is required for a championship the same way that shooting is.
I beg to differ.
All right.
Mainly because we're playing in the 7-game series. If you think about it, if Magic Johnson, he could score the ball too at the end of the day. I'm not saying he's not going to score. But at the end of the day, a person that gets their whole team involved is way more unstoppable than somebody who's hogging the ball.
And, well, to your own point on that, you have Allen Iverson on your team. So if the ball's moving constantly, you don't need a point guard to get everybody involved because everybody's moving the ball, which is the type of team I'm trying to construct, which is why I'm leaving off some key names from my list because I want a team that moves the ball really well.
I agree. But, okay, we're going to our small forward position.
All right.
And, of course, I'm going with King James, who, at the same time, is an overall great player. Honestly, don't need to say a whole lot about him, but he will pass, he will score, he will make the team a whole lot better. So that's why I'm going with King James.
I'll agree with that. I think he's clearly the best small forward in the history of the league, and I think he contributes to. He would probably be like my point forward in that lineup. So he's got Donovan Mitchell and Steph on the wings as shooters, and I understand leaving Kobe and Michael Jordan off that list is probably disrespectful, but I want a team that functions as a unit, and both of them have had a history of not necessarily being the most collaborative of teammates, I'll say, where I feel like the synergy that you'll have with that unit that I'm building will be better.
Cool. Power forward. I'm going to go with my boy Dirk Nowitzki. I think he'll be the stretch forward, unstoppable, one leg fadeaway. You're really not stopping that. Plus, he'll be, he can also be in the post. Like, he might not back you down, but he'll spread the floor. So, I'm going to go with Dirk.
I thought about Dirk, but I kind of shifted positions with this one, and I'm going to go with Kevin Durant. Because I think Kevin Durant, again, throw him as a shooter on this team. You've got just shooters surrounding LeBron James.
Is Kevin
I
Durant
feel
really
good.
a power forward though?
Play LeBron at the 4 defensively in today's era. He could do that. So they can interchange on the defensive side.
Okay. That makes sense. That was a tough one because I wasn't thinking of KD being a power forward though.
I wasn't either, to be honest. I was about to pick Dirk.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I respect it.
At the center, I'm going with Joel Embiid. I think, no disrespect to Shaq, but I think Joel Embiid is almost as big as him, but more skilled. And he's he's just a more dominant player. He'll be able to, again, spread the floor and play the post game. So
That's bold to call him more dominant than Shaq. It's probably true because he's just got more skills than Shaq did. And he, compared to the league today, he might be stronger than Shaq. I feel like the league is not really. When you just watch Joel Embiid play, he just looks like a man.
Yeah.
And so I respect that. I'm gonna pick Giannis for my center position, which is a little bit like undersized team now. I got KD and Giannis, but we're gonna run. So I think with Giannis going downhill, LeBron going downhill, and then Steph, KD, Donovan Mitchell on the wings as shooters, that's gonna be a tough team.
You got a tough team. I ain't gonna lie. You got a tough team. I still don't think they're gonna beat mine, mainly because, yes, Steph Curry is a great shooter, but I think he'll have a harder time getting his shot off on the size that we have. Even though it's, again, he is Steph Curry, he's gonna get his shot off, but he's had a history of bad shooting games. I don't think in a 7-game series against my team you're gonna win.
Well,
I think we got more killers.
What do you guys think? Do you think which team is better, and who do we leave off the list that we should have put on the list? Because I think we both left off, obviously, some legends.
Yeah, for sure.
But we were trying to build a team that can win. So what's your team that would win, and which of these two teams do you think is better?